Welcome back to another video. The official tagline on South of Midnight is that it's a game set in a gothic fantasy American deep south. South of Midnight follows Hazel's journey after a hurricane devastates her hometown of Prospero. Pulled into a southern gothic reality where folklore creatures emerge, Hazel must become a weaver, a magical mender of broken bonds and spirits. Along the way, Hazel encounters all kinds of mythical creatures based on Southern American legends as she confronts enemy creatures known as Haints and untangles her family's past. Hazel seeks to reweave the tears in the grand tapestry and find a place that feels like home. So I was anticipating this game. I thought it looked really unique. I liked the setting. I loved the music. And I can't remember a game that was sort of stop motion like this, that had that sort of, and this is like going way back, folks. So if you know this name, you're old like me, Ray Harryhausen, who did like the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and did some work on the original Clash of the Titans with the stop motion animation and stuff like that. So it reminded me of that. And I can't remember another game that used this particular technique. I'm sure there has to be at least one, but I don't know. So South of Midnight, let me get the things that I had problems with out of the way first. The biggest issue I have with South of Midnight is formulaic, repetitive gameplay. It is predictable. That's the worst thing about the gameplay. It's serviceable. There's a light attack, there's a heavy attack, you can dodge, and then you can mix and match different techniques with your Weaver abilities. So there's enough here to be a competent battle system, a combat system. It's just you are funneled into these paint by number almost encounters that become so repetitive and worse, so predictable that it was the worst part of the game for me. That's what I can say really drug the experience down for me. So we got that out of the way. Let me talk about some of the things that were absolutely positively positives. And the first, obviously, is the graphics. This game looks amazing to me. The art style is fantastic and spot on. And going from these cutscenes to gameplay, like right here, look how beautiful everything looks. I mean, the world begs to be explored. The platforming is okay. Sometimes it's a bit loose and wonky. Sometimes Hazel feels like the original Cole McGrath in the infamous titles when you're jumping and she's kind of like sticky to things and stuff like that. But you get used to it. But for me, it's the story, the setting, the characters, and the world. I have never seen a world like this before in a video game, and I consistently wanted to just exist in the world and explore, and that is the star of this game. It is just a joy to look at. It's a joy to explore in the world. The music is stellar. If you like that sort of old folk music, it is just really, really good. And I just found it to be enjoyable when I wasn't actually in combat, which is a strange sort of juxtaposition when I'm talking about a game. The gameplay has to be good, but there are really like two separate games here. There's this world and this exploration based gameplay and the story and the interaction. And I feel like if this was an adventure game, if it was even lighter on combat and just really tightened up the platforming, the exploration, maybe some puzzle solving elements, it would be a much better experience. Again, it's the combat that really drags you down. So this encounter right here is literally every single encounter in the game. You're going to be exploring these great environments. You're going to love everything you see. And then you're going to see these areas that are fenced off. And as soon as you walk into them, you're going to be closed off in the world. You're going to have to fight a bunch of enemies that are all repetitive, all the same. I think they introduced maybe 2 more enemy types in addition to these guys right here as you progress through the game. And you're using your Weaver abilities, you're dodging, you're attacking. You can upgrade some attacks. So there's complexity to the battle system It's so formulaic. And like I said, when you see these areas, when you walk into them and you're sealed off, it's predictable. You know exactly when you're going to have to fight. It's not like these enemies exist in the world and you sort of stumble upon them like you would in an action adventure game. That would make this game better. Instead, you're funneled into these areas after exploring a gorgeous world, and okay, you're going to fight the same enemies, and then you're going to clear the area with your weaving ability, and everything's going to go back to the beauty of the world that it was before the Blight took over, much like Kena Bridge of Spirits. And then once you're done the combat, like right here, and the world is cleared, or the area is cleared out for you, then you're back to, in my opinion, what is a better gameplay experience. Looking at the world, the colors, the characters, exploring. I just found it to be, on the one hand, I absolutely loved playing the game, and on the other hand, I was so let down by not just the repetitiveness in the combat. I want to stress, it's not just the repetitiveness, it's the predictability. It's, you know exactly when you're going to have to fight these enemies. You know exactly what the enemies are going to be, the enemy types, and you know exactly how to get through it every single time. And then you're treated to the world opening up, and you're back to exploring gorgeous environments like this. I mean, take a look at the lighting here, the use of the colors. It is just, I mean, I want to do this in South of Midnight as opposed to the combat. So the story essentially is about loss and how it affects people and how that effect affects other people in those people's lives. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a really good story. The real star for me, again, besides the world and the exploration and just the art style and the graphics, are the characters that you're going to meet in this game. There's so many really unique characters, especially if you're not really into the the Deep South folklore and things like that. There are so many just really cool, unique characters in this game. And all of them, you meet all of them through exploring the gorgeous world. And I just really enjoyed that aspect of the game, as opposed to those instances when I was sort of funneled into combat to clear an area and then get back to what I absolutely love about the game. And it's the world, characters, and of course, the story. I really didn't notice any technical issues when I played the game. There were a few things, and maybe I'm forgiving, but like, transitioning from one area to the next when it saves, there's a bit of a stutter sometimes. Sometimes when you're moving around really quickly, there's a bit of a stutter. But I'm playing the game early, so I'm sure there'll be a day one or a day whatever patch to tighten up some of these issues. The main takeaway for me is I'm really glad I played this game. I think you'll enjoy it as well. It's priced right. It's in Game Pass if you're subscribed to Game Pass. I really hope, though, that this world, they have to do something more with this world and this game. They have to flesh out the combat more. They have to make it more of... I would love it if this was an open world type action adventure game, because this world and characters and the art style, the graphics, it just begs for that kind of an experience, but I'm not sure we're going to get that kind of experience with the smaller title scheduled to slide into a subscription service. But I really wish that that happens, because I think there's a lot here to love, and there are some issues that do detract from just my experience when I played the game. So let me know what you think about South of Midnight if you've played it early. Let me know what you are excited about with this game if you haven't played it. And think about liking and subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next video.